Test one. A. Test one. A. واحد. Hello. A. 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 Test one. A. Test one. A.
Martin, where do you teach now?
Mainz University.
Mainz University, professor at Mainz. Professor of what?
No, unfortunately, not professor.
Doctor.
Lecturer and research fellow at the university.
Good evening. Our last session for today includes also three very esteemed professors and doctors. First, I would like to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Martin Lüstraeten, who is a lecturer and researcher at the University of Mainz in Germany. And the subject of his presentation is entitled, Which Typikon? The Typikon of Malātiyūs Karma as an attempt to unify a liturgical tradition.
Yeah, thank you very much for your invitation. I really enjoy being here. Well, let's start. A Typikon is a liturgical book containing directions for the performances of rites and prayers, as well as for the behavior on special occasions of a celebration, for example, fasting. It usually regulates the proper for all days of the year, by far exceeding the worship-related directions. The ideal is not obligatory, since many directions can't be followed at different places, yet they are still inspiring and normative in the sense that the performers of worship should try to understand them. Usually, the directions for certain formulas are given by quoting their incipits without providing the full formula. Thus, a Typikon systematically presupposes the existence and possession of all the other necessary liturgical books and is the last book that developed in the tradition of Byzantine liturgical books. The reasons for writing a Typikon could differ, and a certain manuscript does not necessarily reflect the existing tradition. It might also be that a Typikon regulates a liturgical practice because it was never celebrated this way, or because it may no longer be celebrated this way. Although being always prescriptive in its character, the function of a Typikon might be either the conservation of an abrogated rite, the construction of an ideal yet to realize, or the regulation of an actual worship. This is a little bit of oversimplifying. The peculiarity about a Typikon manuscript is that depending on the purpose of the respective copy, the copyist is usually not interested in an exact copy. A Typikon manuscript is written for practical purposes and hence adapted or expanded at every transcription and every copy. Especially on the occasion that a Typikon manuscript traveled from one monastic center to another, it was received there and expanded by adding an appendix to the original corpus. Therefore, Typikon manuscripts are paradigmatic for liturgical manuscripts as living literature. Scholarly research on Typikon manuscripts is a worthwhile investment because every single manuscript offers a snapshot of how worship was celebrated or thought of at a certain moment in history. They offer glimpses on how liturgy might have been experienced by the simple believers of their time. Of the various Typikon traditions that originally existed, the so-called Neo-Sabbaitic Typikon prevailed in the Byzantine Rite. As the name suggests, it is traced back to the customs of the Marsaba monastery in Jerusalem, although there was a considerable impact from other cities, in particular Constantinople. My research was focused on the Arabic manuscript tradition of the Typikon. For this purpose, I analyzed the manuscripts found and indicated by Joseph Nasrallah in his multi-volume chronology of Melkite literature, which was based on the catalogs of 158 libraries. Generally speaking, it might be that there are further manuscripts and that the selection that was made is not representative of the medieval reality. So let's come to the results. A comparative analysis of the Arabic Typikon manuscripts allows the identification of three distinct manuscript families in which there are direct relationships between the respective manuscripts. The first such a family was mainly convened in Arabic Syriac manuscripts and consists of the manuscripts Sinai Arabicus 265, Spart 73, Sinai Arabicus 267, and Sinai 107, with Sinai 107 and Sinai Arabicus 267 as apparently copying from the same manuscript, and Spart 73 being only loosely connected to this family. The language of those manuscripts is rich in Syriacisms, for example, Kahuza for homily, or Al-Qumra for priest, or Jalayan for the Book of Revelation, that lead to the assumption of an origin within a Syriac environment, or at least a Syriac impact. The oldest manuscript of this family is Sinai Arabicus 265, which was written in the 13th century and shows archaizing tendencies and elements, such as the Seleucidic calendar, as well as gaps within the liturgical directions. The catalogue dates this manuscript back to the 13th century without indicating any basis for this assumption. In any case, it has to be early. The colophon does not give the names of the copyist or the translator, but of the purchaser, who is apparently of Syriac or Palestinian origin. It is unclear how the manuscript got to the Sinai monastery, but since the copyist mistook folio 54b for folio 112b, which he corrected simply by striking out the whole page, it is obvious that the manuscript itself is a copy of an already existing translation done page by page. The other manuscripts largely accord to this manuscript. The first one is Spart 73, a manuscript which is in a poor condition and does not contain neither the title page nor the colophon anymore. It belonged to that part of the Spart collection which was given to the Vatican Library in 1926, where it is still kept today. According to the catalogue, the manuscript was written in the 13th century, but since it obviously resembled Sinai Arabicus 267, with more parts translated to Arabic, It is presumably younger, maybe the 14th century. Because Sinai Arabicus 267, fully intact, is dated to the year 1325, 1345, or 1326, depending on the catalog. The writer is indicated as Kas Elias ibn al-Kas Yaqub from the village of Amyun, located about 20 kilometers south of Tripoli. The purchaser was Abba Afram, a servant, a khadim, at the monastery of Our Lady in Kaftoun, which is again 5 kilometers south of Amyun. It would be interesting to find out how the manuscript traveled to Mount Sinai. The fourth one is Sinai 107, fully intact, which has apparently the same base as Sinai Arabicus 267. The manuscript is dated to the year 1453, based on the colophon indicating the year 6961 Anno Mundi. The same colophon mentions the writer Ibrahim, presbyter of the town of Safita, which is about 12 kilometers east of Tartus. On the first leaf is a note stating that the manuscript was purchased in 1564 by Bishop Yaqub ibn Sulaiman ibn Haris from the Church of St. Barbara in the town of Baalbek, or from the Church of St. Barbara in Baalbek. In all of the manuscripts, the quoted incipits lead to the assumption that the worship was mainly celebrated in Greek or Syriac, and that although the Typikon was Arabic, the celebration itself was not. The close relationship between the calendar of saints within the Typikon and the Syro-Melkite Synaxarion allows the conclusion that the manuscripts of this family retained an old Melkite tradition. A special status is held by the manuscript Sinai Arabicus 266, which is an abridged Typikon containing only extracts, for example, basically the calendar of saints and the Arabic translations of the Apolotykia for each day. There's no other manuscript which provides a comparable selection or corresponds to the calendar. The manuscript was apparently written at the Sinai monastery and it was used there. There are typical traces of use, such as marginal notes, corrections, glued additions, erasures, and stains. The catalog gives the year 1322, apparently on the basis of a table for the computation of the date of Easter and the dependent fasts on the last page, which begins with the year 1322. There is no implicit or colophon which provides data for further consideration. There are even no notes of purchase of former honors. The other family, a third group, consists of the manuscripts Sinai Arabicus 264 and Ma Elias Shuraya 34, the latter one being a direct copy of the first one, which can be demonstrated by typical failures in the copying process. The colophon of Sinai Arabicus 264 states that the manuscript is a direct translation of a Greek Typikon, which was written in 1187 for the Church of the 40 Martyrs at Harat Arum, a part of today's Cairo. The copy was written in 1308. A first appendix was added in 1335 by Abul Fat Constantine ibn Abi al-Ma'ali ibn Abi al-Fat. The second appendix has no date, and the third appendix was added in 1574. Thus, the manuscript was in use for a period of more than 200 years. The manuscript Ma Elias Shuraya 34 is dated to the year 1595, and the content of the different appendices of Sinai Arabicus 264 was integrated at their respective position. On folio 23b, right after the full description of the all-night vigil, it is stated that the text was taken from another manuscript and that the rest of the manuscript was translated by Al-Ab al-Matran Joachim al-Dadaki at the monastery of Duma. There are several mistakes in the manuscript that have never been corrected, so that it is likely that the manuscript was never used for a liturgical purpose. The copyist is identified as Saba bi-Ism Shamas ibn Thadrus Muraf bi-Ibn al-Harani from the town of Beirut. Apparently, he had access to the Sinai manuscript. The manuscripts of this group show significant deviations from the Syro-Melkite Synaxarion, as identified by Joseph Marie Sauget, by adding several Sabaite and Syro-Melkite commemorations. Quotes from the Bible are taken from the so-called Alexandrinian Vulgate, the most widespread Bible translation within the Arabic manuscript tradition. The services are apparently Greek and Arabic, with Greek for the most part, and Arabic for the words of or to the congregation. So, those are quite few manuscripts, and not all of them provide information on the temporal or redactional setting. However, two periods become apparent. periods of manuscript production and manuscript exchange. The first one comprising the late 13th and early 14th century, during which the first manuscripts were written, and the second one in the 16th century, during which the manuscript Sinai 107 was purchased, and the manuscript Ma Elia Shuaya was copied. It is maybe this period, too, in which the manuscript Sinai Arabicus 267 came to the Sinai monastery. Both periods have in common that they are at the beginning of a dynasty. The first one is at the beginning of the Mamluk conquests, the second one at the beginning of the expansion of the Ottoman Empire to Egypt. Regarding the places, one has to know that the place where a manuscript is kept does not necessarily correspond to the place where it was copied or where it was used. Books and their owners travel, and sometimes the owner of a book changes, and only some of the Typikon manuscripts provide information on that. It is striking that there was an exchange between the monastery on Mount Sinai and the monasteries of the Lebanon. Maybe the relationship was even wider, and we know only a part of it because the Sinai monastery was the only one which was never destroyed or plundered. At those different monastic centers, the manuscripts were produced either as a copy of Arabic manuscripts or as translations of a Greek or Syriac manuscript, but almost never as original compositions. Especially the Sinai monastery played a dominant role for the Arabic translation movement within the realm of the Melkite Church. Due to the exchange, almost all Typikon manuscripts bear a Palestinian influence. Anyway, the periods of exchange and communication led to a unification of the Arabic Typika long before the translation works of Malātiyūs Karma. The question of the Arabization of the Melkite rites and of its beginning was the topic of scholarly discussions with ideological overtones. The Arabic Typikon manuscripts are surely not at the beginning of the process of Arabization, which might have started already in the 8th century. And since most of them still use Greek and Syriac, they are also not at the end of the process. Regarding the translation techniques, they share some common features. All of them are direct translations from Greek or Syriac and no original compositions, but at best adapted or modified translations. All of them use a linguistic style which is named Christian Arabic since the publication of Joshua Blau's 3-volume work, A Grammar of Christian Arabic. The term is maybe not well chosen since it gives the impression that this style was a distinct and isolated dialect of Christians. However, it was apparently not used for colloquial Arabic, and Blau does not provide a full grammar, but rather a collection of characteristics which do not have to be fulfilled to speak about Christian Arabic. So the term is diffuse. The style was typical for the monasteries, and many of its characteristics that deviate from standard Arabic were interpreted as mistakes and thus framed as bad style. They imitate the word order of the original manuscript. In most cases, they are direct translations from the Greek, preserving as much as possible the word order of the Greek, which often hampers comprehension. Modifications in word order are usually due to the avoidance of ambiguities or severe grammatical mistakes. And there are usually many loanwords from the original language. Those are sometimes transliterations or transcriptions of the original words, and sometimes etymological translations. Not least, all of the liturgical translations are in some way unofficial. This is evident since there was no regular procedure for official Arabic translations of liturgical books, but it is striking that those translations were made in the monasteries and thus outside the spheres of influence of patriarchs and metropolitans. The translations are also often anonymous or pseudepigraphic works. None of the translations was part of a coordinated translation movement. The Arabic Typikon manuscripts were composed at the very end of a long process of Byzantinization, which is an adaptation of the Melkite liturgical books to the rites of Constantinople as respects the ecology at the Eucharist, the shape of the daily office, the order of readings, or the calendar of saints. The process of Byzantinization was almost concluded in the 13th century. However, when adopting the Byzantine liturgy of the hours, this rite was already largely influenced by the Palestinian liturgy of the hours, and thus not totally alien to the Melkites. But Byzantinization is not limited to the adoption of the Byzantine liturgical books, but comprises also the adjustment of the Melkite proper rites to the shape and structure of Byzantine worship. Contemporary sources do not reflect this process, and thus it seems that the Melkites were not aware of the process of Byzantinization. It was rather obvious that the liturgical customs and rites of Constantinople had to be considered as a norm for their own forms of worship. Thus, Byzantinization appears to be a process that was initiated by the Melkites themselves, voluntarily and not due to any directions from a hierarchy, and the reasons underlying this process are object of speculation. Although the Arabic Typikon manuscripts are from a late stage of Byzantinization, they are from an early stage of the genesis of the Typikon and may be counted among the oldest existing testimonials of this book. All of them show typical characteristics of the oldest redactions. In the title, they refer to the Lavra and Masaba and only to this one, which is typical for the Palestinian redaction. A feature of the widespread Jerusalemite Constantinopolitan redaction is a missing reference to a certain church or monastery, which also applies to the Arabic Typikon manuscripts. Other archaic features are the references to Sophronios of Jerusalem, which are given in the manuscripts of family B, and the consumption of the bread that is blessed during autoclasia at the all-night vigil. Also, the Arabic Typikon manuscripts circulated for centuries and were expanded or corrected on occasion. They thus conserve and transmit an old tradition. For example, they do not give the Melkite neo-martyrs in the calendar of saints, even though they were counted among the Melkite proper. The designation neo-martyr is multifarious and usually applied to differentiate between the martyrs of the persecutions of the first centuries on the one hand and the martyrs who died under Islamic rule on the other hand. The commemoration of neo-martyrs is especially revealing for the group who commemorates them, and in this case, it might have been used to contribute to a sense of Melkite identity. Yet, this would have brought a burden for interreligious everyday life. Maybe this would have been also considered as a too huge intervention into a Typikon and thus neglected for the purpose of retaining a common tradition that was gained by the exchange of Typikon manuscripts. By clinging to the old manuscripts and exchanging and copying them, the Melkite rites were kept unified, long before the works of Malātiyūs Karma. Malātiyūs Karma is considered as initiator or head of the so-called Melkite Renaissance. Following the conventional descriptions, this was a process of cultural revitalization after many years of interruption or decline of cultural life among the Melkites. It resulted from the fall of Constantinople and the upcoming desire to catch up with the other post-Byzantine Orthodox groups. In recent times, Constantine Pacheco had challenged the dates for the Melkite Renaissance in favor of an earlier beginning about one generation earlier, thus starting maybe not in 1600, but in 1560. Regarding the Arabic Typikon manuscripts and the two periods of their development, this appears to be plausible. So that Malātiyūs Karma would maybe the head, but not the initiator of the process. His life is documented through a biography by Macarius ibn Najim, which shows to some extent hagiographical stylization and should thus be considered with care. Malātiyūs Karma was born in 1572, presumably at Hama. During his youth, he lived for 2 years as a monk at the monastery of Masaba. He returned to Aleppo, and in 1612 he was appointed metropolitan. During the first years of his reign, he had the opportunity to work on his translations of Byzantine liturgical books. In 1634, he was elected patriarch and took on the name of Timaeus. After 7 months in office, he died. His oeuvre was focused on liturgy. The most prominent works are his versions of Arabic Byzantine liturgical books that he composed on the basis of printed Byzantine liturgical books, which he got from Rome. A bone of contention in scholarly research was a question whether he produced those translations by collecting and revising existing translations or by translating directly from the Greek books. Cyril Charon emphasized that Karma's books were revisions rather than translations, an opinion which accords to the report given by Malātiyūs Karma himself. This was accepted by some other scholars like Geograph or Shabel Nassif. Joseph Nasrallah, on the other hand, claimed that Malātiyūs Karma was rather translator than redactor. The style of his translations is marked by an orientation along the Greek sentence structure and the use of the colloquial Arabic of his time. In fact, in the prefaces to the different liturgical books, he often claims that he had consulted Arabic and Syriac translations, although he refers solely to the Greek printed books. He translated in 1612 the Liturgicon, the Sticharion, the Typikon, and the Menologion. He continued his works, and apparently in 1628 he translated the Horologion as well as in 1632 the Ochologion. His aim was to get his translations printed in Rome so that they could have been easily distributed within his Patriarchate and would supplant the manuscript tradition. Malātiyūs Karma was a religious fundamentalist, and his translations were one measure taken to fight the heresies. Maybe this attitude was corroborated by the contact to Western missionaries. Karma alludes to his motivation and his approach in the prefaces to his translations. He states in the preface to the Liturgicon, and since their expressions were Roman and Greek, the Romans translated them to Arabic and Syriac, and after that the ignorance changed what they copied and that they added in the words or reduced. And when I, the humble Malātiyūs, started to occupy myself with the Arabic and Syriac copies and compared them to the copy of Greek and Roman original, I found in all of them mistakes and changes, so that I revised them along the worthiest Greek writing. And I published them into Arabic with labor and fatigue, and I was appointed metropolitan in the town of Aleppo. According to that, he perceived the existing Arabic translations as corrupt and incomplete when compared to the printed Greek liturgical books, and he took over the task to revise the Arabic liturgical books along the printed Greek liturgical books and to publish and spread those corrected or correct translations. A pastoral motivation in the sense that he wants the liturgy to be accessible to the faithful is not stated, but in some cases, he explains the necessity of translations by his observations that some Melkite priests were not capable to read the Greek formulas properly. These translations were part of the larger project of a union with Rome, where he asked for the Greek liturgical books and where he sent his translations to, hoping that they will be printed there. It is all the more remarkable that he develops another argument in the preface to his Typikon. And when I saw the differences of the Christian churches in their rites and their order and in their system, and what reductions and genuflections, bowings and fasts entered his people, and what was already abrogated from the obligations of the truthful and sincere books, and what was already established from the uses of the deviants and the customs of the heretics, from the changes in fasts and prayers over the sacrament in days and times. So I have not ceased to inquire the reasons for the differences as satisfying inquiry, and to search for the mistakes and the transgressions is sufficient search, till I found out that the reason for this error and the downfall of the given is in the churches of the children of the Arabs, whose place is a place of anger and rage, because his cause and his reason and his error was the absence of an old Roman Typikon, which was composed by the great Masaba as well as by the presbyter Ioana at Damascus, the wise and diligent and sage. And I wondered how the people of that age ignored its publication into the language of Arabs after they became aware and knew that the Church of the Messiah is guided aright with it to the grace of truth and rightness, so that with this book, the group of Orthodox Christians began to boast against all sects of heretics and Orthodox. And since its composer wrote it in the Roman language and it was never translated into the Arabic language, so I, the humble Malātiyūs, did my utmost with labor, endeavor, and desire, and I was appointed metropolitan in the town of Aleppo. So I published it into the language of the Arabs, desiring reward from God, and this was at the date of the year 7120 of the creation of the world, which accords 1612 of the incarnation of Jesus the Messiah, our Lord. This was long. Malātiyūs alleges that there was no Arabic Typikon available. He observes mistakes and errors in the liturgical practice and explains them by pointing to the alleged absence of a Typikon, adding a phrase of irritation why a translation was never made. Thus, the whole manuscript tradition of the Arabic Typikon was not known to him, so he couldn't revise an existing Arabic translation, but took a Greek printed Typikon and translated it into Arabic. Doing this, he implicitly delegitimized and abrogated the existing Melkite particular rites. With his translations, Malātiyūs Karma would have been in the position to set an end to the processes of Byzantinization as well as Arabization, because he undertook a coordinated translation work which the monastic centers were not capable of. The translations would have given rise to fully translated services as well as to the full abrogation of the particular Melkite rites. But the most problematic aspect of this revision was apparently that he relied on the Greek printed books and considered them to be normative and in accord to the tradition. By this, he apparently neglected Arabic translations that might have preserved much older and much more pure traditions. However, it didn't happen this way. Malātiyūs Karma took much effort to let his translations be printed in Rome, but he failed due to the Congregation of Faith. So his translations started to circulate as another manuscript tradition, and they were widely used. They were not taken as prototypes of the first printed Arabic liturgical books, and it took some more centuries to the first printed Arabic Typikon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Lüstraeten. We take now a few minutes for your questions. Your Eminence, Metropolitan Ignatius of France.
شكرا على المحاضرة.
We'll take 1 minute just to set up his translation kit. Okay. Do you hear English now?
I hear English now. Yeah.
Okay.
ذكرتم أنه قد يكون ترجمة ملاطيوس كرمة للكتب إلى العربية قد يكون مؤشراً على رغبته في الانضمام إلى روما، وفي الوقت نفسه عرضتم علينا مقدمة كتاب التيبيكون له، وفيه يشرح بالتفصيل أنه أراد أن يحافظ على التقاليد الأرثوذكسية القديمة، فهل في هذا الكلام من تناقض؟ شكرا.
Thank you very much. I don't want to be misunderstood. The translation, if I translate Roman, it translates the Arabic term room. So I would not claim that he set up his translations with the aim to get a union with Rome. I don't know. He doesn't say that. So his focus was that that he gets a pure tradition, whatever that means. And what he did was that he considered the Greek liturgical books to be authentic. So he took the Greek liturgical books and translated them into Arabic, or as others claim, or as he might have done with the Liturgicon, he took the Arabic translations that existed and corrected them along the Greek liturgical books. What is a pity from the point of view of a liturgical scholar is that by this he set an end to the Typikon tradition, the Arabic manuscript tradition, which is maybe older than the preserved Greek manuscripts, so maybe more pure or more authentic.
Thank you. Speaking Arabic or سيدنا بس بدي اضيف شغله بالنسبه للي تفضلتوا فيه. مثل ما قال مارتن هو عم بيحكي عن الروم منو عن الرومان هي الروم، ففعليا كرمي يعني بموضوع روما في مسألتين لهم علاقه بكرمي. المسألة الأولى هي طلب الكتب اللي كانوا مطبوعين بفينيز بالبندقية يلي هن كتب يونانية ليتورجية، فروما ساعدته البروباغندا بأنه يحصل على نسخة من هالكتب تيترجمون. والشغلة الثانية هي موضوع طباعة الكتب. من بعد ما يخلص الترجمة كان في اتفاق مع البروباغندا موثق بالأرشيف أنه روما تطبع الكتب وتجي على الشرق وتوزع على الكنائس المسيحية. فهو التزم بالترجمة وأرسل، يعني في نسخة بالفاتيكان لكتاب السواعي الكولوفون تبعونه بيقول طبع بمحروسة رومي بسنة كذا، يعني كان الاتفاق ومات. خيو تلجي تابع الاتصال مع الفاتيكان والبروباغندا ورفضوا. فموضوع كرمي وروما بموضوع الكتب الطقسية ما في شيء أبداً.
Professor Father Chrysostomos Nassis.
Thank you for your very interesting enlightening, I think, for the conference paper, and very important contribution. My question is one of ignorance. Is it possible, as the Metropolitan of Aleppo, that he never came across in his metropolis a copy of the Typikon? So, in other words, is his preface a fabrication in order to, let's say, promote it in some way?
See, this is one of the uncomfortable questions, and I was told that in America in the courts they usually say, "I do not remember." So whatever I say might be wrong now. from looking at the preserved manuscripts that we have, it is striking that all the manuscripts are kept and were used in the monastic centers. I don't know, maybe it is reasonable or possible that he didn't come across a Typikon manuscript that was kept in one of the monastic centers. Especially looking at Masaba itself, we do not have an Arabic Typikon at Masaba Monastery that survived. So maybe he's speaking the truth there.
Father
Yes,
Bassam,
thank you very much, Dr. Martin. I would like to add to what you said, the following comment, that there were many manuscripts, Typikon, Arabic, Syriac, but he found that there are many mistakes in the Arabic. So that's why he decided to retranslate it from the original Greek. According to my reading of his comments and his introductions in these books that you mentioned. So the Typikon existed, but and he also insisted that there is one Typikon for the common people, for the parishes, and for the monasteries. We have one tradition, one way of celebrating our liturgy. Thank you. That's what he said.
Thank you very much for your comment. See, this is what the liturgical scholar is now interested in, to find out what is it what he's speaking about if he speaks about mistakes. Who is there to judge what is a mistake and what is not a mistake? So a mistake compared to what? What is the authentic tradition he's comparing to? And this is the focus of the scholarly research. So thank you.
No more questions?
Sorry, I raised my hand.
We move to our second presentation for today.
Okay.
The second presentation will be given via Zoom by Dr. Ioana Feodorov, who is a senior researcher with the Institute for Southeast European Studies of the Romanian Academy in Bucharest. And the title of her presentation is Printing for the Arab Christians in the 18th Century, Antim, the Iberian, Athanasios Dabbas, and Sylvestros of Antioch. Welcome, Dr. Ioana Feodorov. And we are all listening eagerly to your presentation.
Thank you very much. Is everyone hearing me via Zoom?
Yes.
And in
Yes,
call?
very well.
Okay. Can you see the PowerPoint presentation maybe?
Yes.
Because I have already screen shared it. Thank you very much for the invitation. I wish I was there, but I can give you an early comment on whatever has happened. It's a wonderful reunion and I have learned a lot, and I'm there with you all the time. If possible, I would, as I see that there are a lot of people via Zoom, if it's possible to keep the Zoom, the PowerPoint more often on the Zoom screen, so they benefit from the images rather than from my portrait. Because in the hall, I guess you will see the whatever I'm going to show you. In Eastern Europe and the Middle East, Arabic printing began by the joint work of Antim the Iberian, a metropolitan of Ungro-Wallachia and great scholar, and Athanasios III Dabbas, at the time a metropolitan of Aleppo, between two terms of patriarchal office. And I do hope I can move my, yes. The readers of my book, recently released in open access by the Greeter, will learn how much the Arabic-speaking scholars of the 18th century aspired to print and widely distribute books in the Christian communities. It was a time when the benefits of printing were widely acknowledged and sought after. Being able to print and disseminate knowledge, religious and secular, was an aspiration of all the enlightened minds of the Middle East, often in contact with Europeans, for whom these activities had long been common practice. The determination of the Wallachian and Moldavian princes to open presses was one of the reasons why Macarius III Ibn Zaim, the Patriarch of Antioch and all the East, and his son Paul traveled to the Romanian principalities in 1653-1658. You see his portrait, I hope. Just confirm to me, Father
Yes, yes.
Jack.
Everything's
Okay.
perfect.
In his journal, Paul included passages in praise of the printing activities supported by Vasile Luput, the Prince of Moldavia, and Matei Basarab, the Prince of Wallachia, in their circulation and the circulation of printed books in these lands. In Wallachia, the first book was printed in 1508, and the fame of local printers soon spread to the Ottoman provinces. After 1700s, printers in the Romanian principalities produced books in Church Slavonic, Romanian, Serbian, Bulgarian, and Karamanlidica, Turkish with Greek script. The Romanian principalities were not unfamiliar to the Arabic-speaking Christians. The Byzantine influences over their cultures, Orthodox spirituality, common traditions, the struggle to preserve the church rites and rituals in the dire circumstances of being governed by a Muslim power, and the commercial links between merchants of the Eastern Mediterranean coast and Southern Europe. All these brought the Rum Orthodox of Syria close to the Greek Orthodox in Moldavia and Wallachia. Since the rule of Suleiman the Magnificent, Wallachia and Moldavia were considered lands within the Dar al-Dhimma, the house of tribute payers. The status secured to them autonomy and religious freedom. Paul of Aleppo noted that in these lands there were churches, crosses, and loudly ringing bells everywhere, but he saw no mosque, no regular Ottoman army stationed, and he never heard the azan, the Muslim call to prayer. One of the shared aspirations of the Orthodox peoples was connected to the liturgical language. The same need to print liturgical and spiritual books in the vernacular had developed everywhere. Wallachians and Moldavians struggled to move from Church Slavonic to Romanian, while the upper clergy of the Church of Antioch were striving to obtain liturgical books printed in Arabic. After 1694, in search of financial and political assistance for the Syrian Christians, Athanasios Dabbas, then a metropolitan of Aleppo, journeyed to Constantinople and from there to Wallachia, aware of how generous the Prince Constantin Brâncoveanu was towards the Eastern Christians. In January 1692, the prince had signed an endowment of about $840 to 17 churches and monasteries of the East. In March 1700, Dabbas was at Constantin Brâncoveanu's court in Bucharest, where he was treated as an honored guest. He became the prince's advisor, heard his confession, and ordained bishops and priests. The Romanian chronicles mention that on May 12, 1700, he officiated the wedding of the prince's daughter Safta to the great Logothetis Iordache Crețulescu. On July 11, 1703, he participated in a liturgical service to celebrate the reception by Brâncoveanu of the Ferman of confirmation. On September 20, 1702, the Wallachian prince signed an annual donation of $500 to the Church of Antioch from the income of the Wallachian salt mines, to be collected yearly by an envoy of the Syrian Patriarch on October 26, the feast of Saint Demetrius. Dabbas then received the assistance of Antim Iberianul, the Iberian, the Wallachian prince's master printer in printing Arabic liturgical books. Born around 1650 in Georgia and baptized Andrei, Antim called himself the Iberian in the books that he printed to acknowledge and celebrate his roots. Well known for his erudition and knowledge of Greek, Slavonic, and Romanian, Antim became in 1694 abbot of the monastery of the Dormition of the Mother of God on the island of Snagov near Bucharest. There, he installed a press with the prince's support, then returned to Bucharest at the end of 1701. In 1705, he was appointed Bishop of Râmnic, a major city west of Bucharest, rather. The press accompanied him to Râmnic, where its activity continued until 1708, when Antim was elected Metropolitan of Ungro-Valahia and returned to the capital. The press was transferred to Târgoviște, where it worked from 1709 to 1715, and then was moved to the metropolitan residence in Bucharest. In 1715, Antim finished building his own church and printing press within the present-day monastery of Saint Antim. Antim personally printed 42 books equally destined to priests and the common people, 27 in Greek, 8 in Romanian, 3 in Romanian and Slavonic, 2 in Arabic and Greek, 1 in Greek and Romanian, and 1 in Slavonic. He was martyred by the Ottomans in 1716 and consecrated a saint in 1992. As reported by Athanasios Dabbas in the second foreword to the 1701 Book of the Divine Liturgies, Brâncoveanu instructed Antim, I quote, to manufacture an Arabic press with great care, end of quote. Dabbas addressed to the Wallachian prince a plea similar to that made by the first European printers. Manuscript copies of the Holy Scriptures were difficult to get, costly, and filled with the errors of copies of a minimal theological education. Antim carved punches and cast the Arabic type necessary for the printing of 2 bilingual books, Greek and Arabic, in 1701, the Book of the Divine Liturgies at Snagov, and in 1702, the Horologion at Bucharest. These books contain Greek texts previously printed by Antim, placed in parallel columns with the Arabic texts translated from Greek and Syriac that had been revised by Malātiyūs Karma. The texts were prepared by Dabbas himself, as proven by the expressions Biltimas wa Musharafa at the entreaty and under the supervision of Metropolitan Athanasios. The book decoration, frontispieces, icons of saints, Christian symbols, borders, vignettes were created by Antim and his apprentices. The considerable sums necessary for the printing of these books were covered by the Prince Constantin Brâncoveanu from his own coffers and presented to Dabbas as gifts for the clergy of Greater Syria. In both forewords, that of the Book of the Divine Liturgies and that of the Horologion, Dabbas thanks Prince Brâncoveanu for his generosity, as he gave Antim, I quote, a free hand in spending for the Arabic type, and his lordship ordered that the expenses required by the book printing to be covered from his own purse, end of quote. The technology of movable printing requires 3 essential elements: the type made from a metal alloy, the press, and ink appropriate for printing. The expertise accumulated by working alongside Antim could help Dabbas recreate a press in Aleppo, while ink was a commodity that he could purchase either in Ottoman Syria or in Constantinople. However, the Arabic type was difficult to make without help from the skilled typographers of Antim's workshop. The Arabic type and the woodcuts manufactured in Antim's press were the most precious gift of Wallachia to Dabbas. Metropolitan Athanasios later observed the Wallachian editorial plan at his press in Aleppo, which started working in 1706. Of the 3 books printed in 1706, the first one was the Psalter, Kitab al-Zabur al-Sharif, selected as a natural continuance of the editorial plan of an Orthodox press, as witnessed in Wallachia. The Psalter held a special place among the essential books for a Christian readership. Used by the clergy daily, it was also the ordinary reading book in monasteries and homes, a manual for teaching and individual learning, the choice spiritual guide for any Christian from an early age. Soon after the Psalter, the first complete Arabic gospel was printed in Aleppo. In its time, this book was distributed all over Greater Syria and reached churches and monasteries where copies are still preserved today. A liturgical gospel was then printed. That is a gospel book with the same title, but with a double-sized content comprising additional commentaries for each pericope and the evangelist's icons. Instead of the 243 pages of the previously published text, this book holds 584 pages. Called by some authors a lectionary, it bears a certain resemblance to the Latin lectionaries, but the comments added for the use of the altar-serving priests of the Church of Antioch are orthodox in content and style. The book was addressed to a Byzantine Rite readership consisting of priests who would use the commentaries when preparing their sermons for Sundays and major feasts. Dabbas's work continued in 1707 with the Book of the Chosen Pearls from the Sermons of St. John Chrysostom, which contains 34 sermons of this great theologian born in Antioch. In 1708, Dabbas printed the Holy Book of the Prophecies, another text required in all churches and monasteries, and the first Arabic Apostolos. In 1709, a second edition of the Psalter was printed, then nothing more happened for 2 years. In 1711, 3 works were published before the press shut down for unclear reasons. First, the Octoekos, then the Sermons of Athanasios, the Patriarch of Jerusalem, containing 66 sermons by Athanasios, preceded by a homily by St. John Chrysostom for the Easter feast, and the eulogy by Chrysanthos Notaras. Finally, the brief epistle on how to repent and confess was the only composition of his that Dabbas succeeded in printing in his press. Dabbas created some other works while in Bucharest. The translation from Greek of Dimitrie Cantemir's book, The Divan or the Quarrel Between the Sage and the World, which he would have liked to publish as well, provides more proof of his deep Orthodox convictions, as I explained in previous publications. After the Melkite Greek Catholic Church separated themselves from the main body of the Church of Antioch in 1724, the Christians of Greater Syria, notwithstanding their doctrinal views, continued to celebrate the Divine Liturgy for another century using Dabbas's editions. While opening the path for the art of Christian Arabic book printing in the East, Athanasios Dabbas was also instrumental in establishing Arabic as the liturgical language in the Church of Antioch. Between 1720 and 1740, Ottoman Syria was the scene of a real competition in the distribution of printed Orthodox, Latin, and Protestant books. Printing in Arabic resumed on Moldavian territory in the mid-18th century, owing to Sylvester, Athanasios Dabbas's successor as Patriarch of the Church of Antioch, who was enthroned in October 1724 and headed the Church of Antioch until he died in 1766. Among Sylvester's supporters before the Sublime Porte were the Prince of Wallachia, Nicolae Mavrocordat, the offspring of a Phanariot aristocratic and scholarly family, and the great dragoman Grigore Ghica, a future prince of Wallachia and Moldavia. In 1725, Sylvester asked the Sacra Congregatio de Propaganda Fide to reprint in Rome the Book of the Divine Liturgies and the Horologion that his predecessor had first printed in Wallachia. His request was rejected because these texts were non-compliant with the Latin dogmas. Consequently, Sylvester resumed the connections that Patriarch Athanasios III had built with the Romanian principalities. He wrote around 1730 to the princes of Moldavia and Wallachia, Ioan and Constantine Mavrocordat, and traveled from Ioannina to Bucharest in 1730 after Easter. He mentions in epistles preserved in a codex written in Jerusalem that he sojourned for a while in Wallachia when Prince Nicolae Mavrocordat was ruling, a fact confirmed by the Romanian chronicler Radu Popescu. In 1733, Sylvester was in Wallachia again, at the court of Constantine Mavrocordat, as Patriarch Malātiyūs of Jerusalem stated in a speech, adding that, I quote, "the prince much honored and helped him," that is Sylvester, end of quote. Patriarch Sylvester secured the approval of Ioan Mavrocordat to print several Arabic books at the monastery of Saint Sava in Iași, a metochion of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem. The first was a reprint of the Book of the Divine Liturgies called Condac, followed by famous anti-Latin works of Patriarch Nectarios of Jerusalem and Eustratius Argentis in Arabic translation. The decision to leave Iași for Bucharest in 1747 was inspired by the welcoming attitude shown to the Patriarch by Constantine Mavrocordat, one of the most enlightened sons of the Fener to have ruled the Romanian principalities in Ottoman times. Patriarch Sylvester received from the Prince Constantine Mavrocordat the monastery of Saint Spiridon in Bucharest as a metochion of the Patriarchate of Antioch, as stated in a donation act dated December 8, 1746, which is preserved. The Patriarch was in Bucharest while the works progressed, supervising the repair of the main building, the Kelia, and other edifices around the church. He presented to the church a large icon of Saint Spiridon of Trimitus, 127 by 92 centimeters, painted on wood, which was later partially covered in silver and placed in the right side of the iconostasis. All around an older icon in the center, Patriarch Sylvester painted 14 scenes of the saint's life. In the lower part, the icon was inscribed in April 1748 with a long Arabic text in red ink on a gilded background by the Syrian monk Boutros Naufal, who signs as, I quote, "the son of George of Tripoli, a scribe in the service of the holy monastery," end of quote. The text attests that the Prince Constantine Mavrocordat rebuilt the church of Saint Spiridon, I quote, "in his parents' memory and his, and presented it to the Arab upper clergy and the monks," end of quote. One of the Patriarch's disciples, Yusuf Mark, reached Bucharest in 1747 and stayed there until 1750. He wrote to a friend that he found the Patriarch Sylvester busy making Arabic type. He remained at Saint Spiridon after the Patriarch left for Constantinople and then Damascus. Recently, unique copies of 2 Arabic books printed at Bucharest in 1747, Yusuf Mark's first output, were discovered by colleagues of the Type Arabic team. The first is a Psalter printed in 253 pages, a re-edited version of the Psalter printed by Athanasios Dabbas in Aleppo in 1706. The book contains a portrait of David, the king and prophet, a few page frontispieces, and ornamental elements derived both from Romanian and Western European models. Father Policarp Chițulescu has already identified 3 books printed in Wallachia with the same woodblock, and he can tell you more about it as he is there in the hall with you. The Syrian historian Isa Iskandar al-Ma'luf mentioned in 1911 that he had seen this book at the Patriarchal Monastery of Mar Elias Shuaye. The second book contains the resolutions of the church councils convened at Constantinople concerning the Catholics' advent among the Antiochian Christians. This is a miscellany containing the acts of 3 synods of Constantinople held in 1723, 1725, and 1727, translated from Greek into Arabic, and detailed explanations on the conflicting points of the Orthodox and Latin dogmas. Considering the commemoration of the 1724 schism in the Church of Antioch next year, this book is particularly important for historical research. Therefore, a re-edition accompanied by an English translation will be published with the Gruiter by one of the Type Arabic team members. In the opening pages, Patriarch Sylvester addresses the Orthodox faithful who are eager to know the real situation concerning the schismatics, I'm quoting now, who recently separated from our Orthodox Church, end of quote. Based on the Holy Scriptures, the Acts of the Ecumenical Councils, the exegesis of Orthodox Church Fathers and Western theologians, the two councils of 1725 and 1727 found that, I quote, the schismatics had disobeyed the church canons and defied the council's decisions, end of quote. That is the 7 ecumenical councils. Sylvester openly states his purpose in compiling this collection. I quote, I urge all the Orthodox Christians who are my spiritual sons, by the Lord's word, to listen neither to the sophistic teachings of those schismatics, nor to their twisted words. Let not your hearts and minds turn towards them, lest you perish in spirit and body. End of quote. Sylvester mentions the names of persons declared anathema, excommunicated, and, I quote, cut off from the Church of Christ in this earthly life and the age to come, because they are followers of the error of the false teachers who come in sheep's clothing, but underneath are ravening wolves, end of quote. And this is according to Matthew 7:15. This work was devised as a handbook to help the opposition to the Latin's teachings. The effort to build a defense wall against the claims and accusations of the Greek Catholics and the Latin missionaries is clear in the structure of the book. It is practically a showcase of the turmoil in the Christian communities of Ottoman Syria during Patriarch Sylvester's office. A third book could also have been printed in Bucharest, an Acatis that survives in a unique copy recently sold by its Spanish owner at a Paris auction, which I have had access to and described in my recently released book. This text was extracted from the Kitab al-Sawa'i and published individually, accompanied by 2 illustrations, an icon of the Annunciation, identical to woodcuts created in Antim, the Iberian presses, and an emblem of Patriarch Sylvester that we have never seen elsewhere. In the second half of the 18th century, outstanding historical works would be composed in Beirut, whose dissemination required the opening of a printing workshop. This was made possible by the importation of the Arabic type manufactured by Yusuf Mark at the monastery of Saint Spiridon in Bucharest. The learned Sheikh Yunus Niqul al-Jabaili, also known as Abu Askar and al-Beiruti, who was a trustee, an epitropos of the Orthodox monastery of St. George in Beirut, installed a press in 1750 at the monastery. There is little information about this press. In a letter addressed to the Patriarch Maximus Mazlum in 1840, Father Augustine Maqsoud reported that he had seen in Beirut 2 books printed in 1751, a Psalter and the Horologion, and that the Patriarch Sylvester transferred the press from Aleppo to Beirut to print anti-Latin works. Several other scholars mentioned that a Horologion was also printed in Beirut in 1751. Recently, my colleague Mihai Țipo, who will speak to you tomorrow, a contributor to this conference, discovered a rare exemplar of a Kitab Mukhtasar al-Sawa'i, a Bright Book of the Hours, printed in Beirut in 1751, by Waliduna Ruhi al-Sheikh Yunus Niqula Wakiluna al-Mukram, which we are currently trying to locate. In 1752, the Kitab Zabura Sharif, the Holy Book of the Psalms, a second edition of Sylvestros Psalter of Bucharest, was printed in Beirut in approximately 390 pages. The text comprises the 150 canonical psalms, Psalm 151, and the 10 odes, tasabih, traditionally added at the end. Pages 41 to 43 contain a text attributed to Sophronius of Acre, where details about the coming into being of this book are given. Before the Psalter text on the pages 1 to 36, there is a section that contains texts absent from previous Psalter books. The first 3 lines are filled with the Arabic alphabet in the standard order of the letters, while lines 4 and 5 give the alphabet in an unusual arrangement, 2 by 2 letters in one direction until the middle of the alphabet, and then the other half of them similarly arranged. This was probably a method for pupils to practice the Arabic alphabet. Here is a testimony to the teaching function of the Psalter in Christian communities. This was an exercise book for learning the Arabic language and script. The text continues with a brief teaching on the Christian faith, opening with the title On the Christian's Way and the Sign of the Holy Cross. Lines 6 to 13 comprise the Trisagion or angelic hymn, the Orthodox evening prayer, the invocation, God have mercy on us, 3 times, glory to God, and so on. On the last line, the prayer, Our Father who art in heaven, starts, continuing on page 2. These are all prayers that the Christian faithful read at home in private. On page 1 of the Beirut Psalter, there is an engraving of the Isis icon derived from the one created at Antim, the Iberian press, but clumsily copied and then printed as a mirror image. The original image was printed by Antim at Snagov in the Akatist of 1698 and the Proskinetarion of the Holy Mount Athos in 1701. The same wood block was also used for the 1701 Greek and Arabic Book of the Divine Liturgies. Other art elements are common to the Arabic books printed in Snagov, Bucharest, Aleppo, Iași, and Beirut. Thus, the recent research done by the Type Arabic team added a new printing workshop to the map of Arabic type presses in Europe, the one at the monastery of Saint Spiridon in Bucharest. We have also prepared the first complete list of Athanasios Dabbas's printing output in Wallachia and Aleppo, and shed more light on the Arabic type press at the monastery of St. George in Beirut. The descriptions of Patriarch Sylvestros' Arabic books printed in Iași, Bucharest, and Beirut that I have recently published are the first comprehensive and detailed records of his printing works available to the academic circles. The Type Arabic project financed by the European Research Council, which I am leading in Bucharest, and the innovative research that we generate are meant to celebrate the endeavors of the visionary patriarchs, metropolitans, and scholars who acknowledge the benefits of printing for the devout of the Church of Antioch. All this new information confirms the fact that the princes and upper clergy of Wallachia and Moldavia were convinced of the genuine Orthodox spirit of the projects developed by these outstanding figures, and therefore backed them in their struggle for the conservation of the Byzantine roots of their creed and rites throughout the Ottoman age. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ioana. In exactly 30 minutes, you could present to us all the rich work of print Arabic, Type Arabic. Also, we congratulate you for this very, very important work that you are doing, and we are looking forward to cooperate with you to study these discovered and published documents important for our church. His Eminence Metropolitan Ignatius of Paris will take, because we already took 30 minutes, to listen to the presentation. We'll take one question, if possible, now from His Eminence.
شكرا للمداخلة، بس أردت أنه يمكننا أن نستخلص من كل عرض هذه المخطوطات بأن البطاركة المذكورين وهم سيلفستروس وأثناسيوس دباس من خلال اهتمامهم بهذه المنشورات باللغة العربية كان همهم الدفع الرعائي والحفاظ على الرعية. هذا السؤال الأول، هل يمكننا أن نستخلص ذلك بأنهم اهتموا بتثقيف الرعية من خلال الكتب والليتورجية وغيرها؟ والمنحى الثاني، وهل ممكن أن نستخلص بأن روما عندما رفضت أن تطبع كتب ليتورجية باللغة العربية بعد ما حدث في العام 1725 كانت تضع مثل ما بنقول العصي في الدواليب، كانت تضع العقبات لئلا تتقدم بطريركية أنطاكيا في رعاية أبنائها. هل هذا صحيح؟
If I may, I will answer in English. So if I understood the questions right, we are speaking first of the progress of the Arabic-speaking communities and the patriarchs who obviously, through their contacts with the foreigners who were living and working and operating in Greater Syria, were aware of the benefits of printing. They wanted to bring this important educational tool to Greater Syria. So they were striving to increase the level of education, information of the entire Arabic-speaking community, most of all of the upper clergy, and to keep the Arabic-speaking faithful of the Church of Antioch on the same level of knowledge as the theologians abroad in the Orthodox world, and also in the Latin, in the Western European world. So I hope this answers your question. I would move to the other one. The Sacra Congregatio de Propaganda Fide had two purposes in not printing these texts sent over from the scholars, by the scholars of the Church of Antioch to Rome. First of all, they would have liked to have a monopoly on the press for the Christians in the Ottoman Empire. They disliked also printing in Greek and in any other languages addressed to the Christians. They wanted to print in Rome and to send over to the Near East and to the Arabic-speaking communities only books that had been vetoed or had been approved by their own scholars. They had commissions or congregations or reunions of scholars, of Latin theologians and Catholics who would read all these texts and who would compare them with the Latin versions of the liturgical text and then present to the Pope and to their leaders of their community the differences that led to a refusal of these books to be printed in Rome. So I do hope that I managed to answer a little bit your questions.
Perfectly. Thank you. Thank you so much. And now we have to move to our last presentation for today from Associate Professor Elie Donnaoui, who teaches church history at our institute here, and who is the director of Johannes Center at the University of Balamand.
مساء الخير. بعرف انكم كلنا تعبانين هلا ابونا جيت اخر شيء انت. حاحكي بالعربي وحيكون في صور، يعني ححاول تكون الشغله شوي سريعه، كمان حاختصر. بالنسبه لموضوعنا المخطوطات الليتورجيه العربيه السريانيه في كنيسه أنطاكيا للروم الأرثوذكس شاهد على تقليد اندثر. تضم مجموعات المخطوطات في أديار وكنائس بطريركية أنطاكيا وسائر المشرق للروم الأرثوذكس عددا من المخطوطات التي تحتوي على نصوص مكتوبة بحرف سرياني، بعضها سرياني بالكامل والبعض الآخر تتداخل فيه السريانية والعربية، وقلة تحتوي أيضا على اليونانية إلى جانب هاتين اللغتين. لا نعرف الكثير عن هذه المخطوطات. جل ما نعرفه أنها تعود إلى الروم الأرثوذكس عندما كان قسم منهم يتكلم اللغة السريانية، وبطبيعة الحال كان يقيم الخدم الليتورجية بالسريانية. قبل البدء بالموضوع أريد أن أسلط الضوء على بعض التسميات التي أعتبرها أساسية بالنسبة لمقاربة الموضوع. في الأدب أو الأدبيات البحثية الحديثة يستخدم مصطلح ملكي للدلالة على الكنائس التي قبلت قرارات مجمع خلقدون 451، وبالتالي عندما نتكلم على هذا التراث في الأدبيات الأكاديمية يطلق عليه التراث السرياني الملكي أو الملكي السرياني، سيرياك ملكيت. لا تتبنى هذه الدراسة مصطلح ملكي لثلاثة أسباب. أولاً، يحمل دلالة سلبية وغير موضوعية. هذا كان اسم تعيير لاتهام الخلقدونيين بكونهم أتباع الملك. السبب الثاني، يطلق على الروم الأرثوذكس كتسمية لم يتبنوها، بل بقيت اسماً يطلقه الآخرون عليهم. وأخيراً، أضيفت إلى هذه التسمية أبعاد دلالية جديدة تطورت في الغرب وارتبطت بالحركة الانضمامية التي شهدتها كنيسة الروم الأرثوذكس وصلت إلى الذروة عام 1724. بناء عليه تعتمد هذه الورقة مصطلح روم أرثوذكس بدل ملكي للإشارة إلى الهوية الإيمانية. عفوا أنا لازم أقطع سلايدز. إذن تعتمد هذه الورقة مصطلح روم أرثوذكس بدل ملكي للإشارة إلى الهوية الإيمانية كما ترون. بدك تمرق الباوربوينت بليز.
احنا ما عم نشوف.
هنا في مخطوط حمطورة 21، مخطوط سرياني عربي، نلاحظ فيه اعتراف إيمان هذه الجماعة، اعتراف إيمان خلقدون يتبنى القول بالطبيعتين وبالمشيئتين بشكل واضح. إذن السريانية لهذه الجماعة هي أو الهوية الإيمانية هي الأرثوذكسية، أما الهوية الثقافية واللغوية لمكونات هذه الكنيسة فتشير إليها هذه الورقة كصفة من صفات الكنيسة الأم. على هذا الأساس يعتمد هذا البحث مصطلح تراث الروم الأرثوذكس السرياني. بالإطار التاريخي لم يكتب الروم الأرثوذكس السريان تاريخاً خاصاً بهم، كما أنه لم يكتب عنهم الآخرون كجماعة قائمة بذاتها أو كفرع من فروع كنيستهم الأنطاكية الأم. بالتالي لا يمكن التعامل مع هذا التراث على أنه إنتاج جماعة مستقلة ضمن النسيج الأنطاكي، بل كأحد أوجه التنوع الثقافي واللغوي الذي تميزت به كنيسة أنطاكيا للروم الأرثوذكس. والدليل على هذا وجود المخطوطات العربية والسريانية واليونانية معاً في الدير الواحد، بالإضافة إلى انتشار المخطوطات التي تضم خدماً ليتورجية مكتوبة بلغتين وأحياناً بثلاث لغات. في القرن التاسع بدأ الروم الأرثوذكس الأنطاكيون في الانتقال تدريجياً من التأليف باللغة السريانية إلى استخدام اللغة العربية. تؤكد المخطوطات الليتورجية التي نسخت في الألفية الثانية أن اللغة السريانية بقيت مستخدمة في المدى الأنطاكي حتى القرن السابع عشر. لا يعني هذا الاستخدام أن السريانية كانت اللغة الطقسية الوحيدة أو لغة الروم الأرثوذكس الطقسية في جميع الكنائس التابعة للبطريركية الأنطاكية بين القرنين التاسع والسابع عشر. أيضاً في التاريخ استعاد البيزنطيون السلطة في أنطاكيا سنة 969، فشهدت الحقبة اللاحقة حركة منهجية سعت إلى تعديل طقوس الأنطاكية لتنسجم مع طقوس القسطنطينية. واجهت هذه الحركة رفضاً في بعض الحالات كالاستمرار بإقامة قداس يعقوب في أنطاكيا حتى نهاية القرن الثالث عشر. توالت فصول هذه الحركة لتصل إلى الذروة في القرن السابع عشر مع مشروع مالاتيوس كارما. ميز هذه الحركة اعتماد استراتيجية جديدة تمثلت بأن تؤدي الكنائس أو كنائس الروم طقوسها بلغتها المحلية، ولكن وفق نص وترتيب الخدم الليتورجية الشائعة في القسطنطينية. يظهر هذا التحول بوضوح في ازدياد أعداد مخطوطات الروم الأرثوذكس السريانية في القرن الثالث عشر مقارنة بالأعداد السابقة. يحصي سيباستيان بروك 79 مخطوطة تعود إلى القرن الثالث عشر، مخطوطة سريانية، مقابل 9 في القرن الثاني عشر و9 أخرى في القرن الحادي عشر. تجدر الإشارة إلى أن الروم الأرثوذكس قد نسخوا 79 مخطوطة في القرن الثالث عشر مقابل 107 مخطوطات للسوريان اليعاقبة و49 للأشوريين، أي يكون الروم الأرثوذكس قد أنتجوا ما يوازي ثلث مجموع المخطوطات السريانية في تلك الحقبة. نستنتج من تحليل المخطوطات المؤرخة التي تضم عناصر سريانية أنها أنتجت في 3 مراكز: الجبل الأسود إلى الشمال الغربي لمدينة أنطاكيا خاصة بين القرنين الحادي عشر والثالث عشر، دير القديسة كاترينا في سيناء، والمنطقة الممتدة من القلمون في سوريا وصولا إلى طرابلس ومحيطها كانت قارة وسيدنايا والقرى الآرامية في محيط دمشق من القرن الثالث عشر مركزا مهما. يقابله في الجانب اللبناني مركز ثاني لا يقل أهمية عن الأول يستقر في طرابلس والقرى والأديار المحيطة كالبلماند وكفتون وحمطورة وحردين وقرى الكورة. على سبيل المثال في عندنا مخطوطات نسخت في أميون، في بصرمة القرن الثالث عشر، في دير مرجرجوس في أنفي، في دير القديس خريستوفوروس في بتوراتيج، في داريا، في جميع قرى الكورة في عندنا مخطوطات سريانية. يتناول البحث مجموعة المخطوطات التي تنتمي إلى الفئة الثالثة، أي تلك التي نسخت في القلمون والكورة. بعملية البحث اللي عملناه فهارس المخطوطات لا تعطي معلومات وافية. كل ما هو سرياني في المخطوطات معلومات عنه في الفهارس معلومات دقيقة، مما استوجب أن نتصفح جميع ما نملك من صور رقمية لهذه المخطوطات. بالنتيجة توصلت إلى تعرف إلى 28 مخطوطة أتوا من 9 مجموعات بشكل أساسي مثل ما عم تشوفوا. في عنا من دير البلماند، في عنا من البطريركية في الشام، في عنا من دير حمطورة، في دير مريحنا دوما، مطرانية طرابلس، المحيتسي. الحصة الأكبر هي عند سيدنا سلوان. الخزان السرياني اليوم بأنطاكيا هو بأبرشية جبل لبنان بالنسبة للمخطوطات اللي بقيوا. يعني في التحليل اعتمد الروم الأرثوذكس في مخطوطاتهم السريانية كتابة خاصة بهم ميزتهم عن باقي المسيحيين السريان في الشرق. لم تكن هذه التعديلات التي أدخلها الروم الأرثوذكس في الكتابة مجرد مسألة جمالية لها علاقة بالخط أو الباليوغرافي، بل كانت تعبيراً عميقاً عن الهوية والتميز. من أوائل الذين سلطوا الضوء على طريقة الكتابة المعتمدة في مخطوطات الروم السريانية كان روبرت سميث، الذي أطلق اسم ملكية على هذه الكتابة لكنه أدرجها بشكل منهجي ضمن عائلة الكتابة الكلدانية. شايف في تشابه بين هذه الكتابة والكلدانية فقال مع بعضهم، لكنه ميز عن السوريان اليعاقبة والأشوريين والموارنة. يرى الباحث الفرنسي ألان دي رومو أن تشكل هذه الكتابة السرياني لم يتم بالصدفة، إنما هو امتداد للكتابة الآرامية. في مؤتمر الخامس لدراسة السريانية الذي عقد عام 1988 طرح فكرة إضافة فئة كتابة جديدة خاصة بالروم الأرثوذكس لتضاف إلى القائمة التقليدية التي تضم سترانجيلو والسيرتو والسرياني الشرقي. يتضح من الممارسات الأكاديمية الحالية أن هذا المقترح قد حظي بالقبول، حيث يتم الإشارة في بعض فهارس المخطوطات إلى هذا النوع من الكتابة كفئة مستقلة. أيضا يؤكد على هذا الموضوع سيباستيان بروك في لائحة مخطوطات سيناء التي أعدها، يسمي هذه الفئة الملكية. يضم مجموع المخطوطات السريانية التابعة للروم الأرثوذكس نصوصا مكتوبة باللغات السريانية والعربية واليونانية، بالإضافة إلى صلوات بإحدى هذه اللغات لكن مكتوبة بأحرف مستعارة من لغة أخرى. هلا حنفوت شوي على محتوى هذه المخطوطات. اخترت بعض النماذج التي تعطينا فكرة واضحة عن هذا المجموع النصي الكوربوس. الفئة الأولى هي مخطوطات سريانية لغة وكتابة. يحمل مخطوط المحيدسي، أبونا ملحم موجود معنا، هو بالرعية عنده، يحمل مخطوط المحيدسي رقم 1 عنوان مختارات القراءات من الإنجيل لكل السنة، أي الإنجيل الطقسي وفق المسمى السرياني. ينتمي هذا المخطوط إلى النمط السرياني الأقدم الذي كان شائعا في كنائس الروم الأرثوذكس الأنطاكية، والذي يتمثل بأن تواكب الكتب الليتورجية تطور خدم الليتورجيا في القسطنطينية. من ميزات هذا النمط الأنطاكي أن هذه التوليفة الكتابية أخذت بنيتها الداخلية من التقليد البيزنطي اليوناني، أي نظام تحديد القراءات وربطها بالمناسبات الليتورجية، بالإضافة إلى تحديد الآيات التي تتكون منها كل قراءة. بالمقابل حافظت هذه الأناجيل الطقسية على نص الترجمة السريانية البسيطة أو البشيطة. بناء عليه يشكل الإنجيل الطقسي نموذجاً جديداً يتبع من حيث الشكل التقليد البيزنطي، أما من حيث المضمون فيحافظ على التقليد السرياني القديم. تجدر الإشارة إلى أن هذه الأناجيل لم تتأثر بالترجمات العربية المأخوذة عن التقاليد النصية اليونانية المختلفة، والتي كانت قد انتشرت منذ القرن التاسع في أوساط الروم الأرثوذكس الناطقين بالعربية. من حيث وجهة الاستخدام وهوية الجماعة التي نسخت هذا الإنجيل، يتضح أنه يرتبط بجماعة خلقدونية متصلة طقسياً بتقليد كنيسة القسطنطينية، لكنها تتكلم السريانية وتعتمدها كلغة رئيسية وربما هي لغتها الوحيدة. يتضح هذا من غياب النصوص العربية من المخطوط، مما لا شك فيه أن الجماعات في جبل لبنان كانت سريانية اللغة، وقد تعربت طقوسها وكتبها بعد أن حلت العربية تدريجياً مكان السريانية. يحتوي هذا المخطوط على بعض الإشارات التي تدل على هذا التحول. مثلاً نلاحظ ترجمة عربية مضافة لاحقة بين الأسطر وتعرب عنوان إحدى أقسام هذا الإنجيل الطقسي. ونلاحظ أيضاً أن الترجمة لا تتطابق مع النص السرياني، بل هي تشير إلى التسمية المعتمدة في الكتب الطقسية العربية. يمكن الاستنتاج أن هذا المخطوط كان قد خرج من دائرة الاستخدام عندما أضيفت إليه الكتابة العربية. ينتمي أيضاً إلى هذا النمط مخطوط حمطورة 26 الذي يضم إنجيلاً طقسياً سريانياً. ينسجم هذا الإنجيل من حيث البنية والمحتوى مع مخطوط المحيدسي، نفس النص عنا، إلا أنه يعطي بالعربية مطلع القسم المخصص للقراءات من كل إنجيلي وبعض عناوين القراءات. النوع الثاني هي مخطوطات عربية تضم بعض العناصر السريانية. ينتمي مخطوط البطريركية 60 إلى هذا النوع، إذ نجد فيه تداخلاً بين العربية والسريانية. يعطي هذا المخطوط الإرشادات الطقسية بالعربية، أما عناوين الصلوات فيعطيها بالسريانية، ويعكس هذا النوع بيئة تستخدم اللغة العربية في حياتها اليومية لكنها ما زالت تقيم طقوسها بالسريانية. يتضح أيضاً من خلال الملاحظات التي يقدمها هذا المخطوط والمتعلقة بسلوك الرهبان في الكنيسة. على سبيل المثال نقرأ في الصفحة 10 إرشادات خاصة بالمرتلين وبتنظيم المناوبة بين الخورسين، وكيف يجب أن يدخل الإخوة الرهبان إلى الكنيسة وغيرها من آداب السلوك. أيضاً من مخطوطات هذه المجموعة أو هذا النوع مخطوط بلاماند 31 وهو Theology، ومعظم محتوى هذا المخطوط مكتوب بالعربية، أما بعض الإعلانات والصلوات فترد بالسريانية. ويتضح أن المحتوى السرياني مختص بالكهنة، أما القسم المختص بالشعب وبالمؤمنين فيرد بشكل عام بالعربية. يعكس هذا التوزيع اللغوي واقعاً قد يكون قد انتشر في أنطاكيا في نهاية حقبة استخدام السريانية، حيث انحسرت السريانية من الرعاية واقتصرت على الكهنة. يدعم هذه الفرضية وجود خدمة جناز الكهنة بالسريانية في هذا المخطوط، في حين نجد أن نص خدمة جناز العلمانيين بالعربية والسريانية. مخطوطات توازن بين السريانية والعربية. يشكل مخطوط حمطورة 21 إفخولوجي نموذجاً واضحاً لهذا النوع الذي يقيم توازناً بين اللغتين. على سبيل المثال يعطي بالسريانية نص الخدمة والقراءة من الرسائل وأعمال الرسل، أما التيبيكون والأفاشين والإنجيل فيكون باللغة العربية. يمثل هذا النوع مرحلة انتقالية في تاريخ جماعات الروم الأرثوذكس السوريان، إذ نلاحظ في هذا المخطوط إضافة ترجمة عربية بين الأسطر تشمل القراءات من الرسائل وأعمال الرسل، مما يعني أن عدد الناطقين بالعربية قد ازداد في الدير، وقد لجأ الرهبان إلى إضافة العربية لتلبية هذه الحاجة، أم أنهم أجروا هذا التعديل يتمكنوا من استخدام هذا المخطوط في خدم تقام بالعربية. في جميع الحالات يعكس هذا التعديل تحولا في نسيج الجماعة التي تستخدمه. نلاحظ أيضا في هذا المخطوط تباينا في الخدم التي تقام في الدير وتلك الخاصة بالعلمانيين كالخطبة والزواج، ففي حين نجد السريانية بكثافة في الخدم الليتورجية الديرية، تصبح العربية اللغة الرئيسية في الخدم المقامة للعلمانيين. نوع آخر مخطوطات تضم محتوى كاملا بالسريانية والعربية. بلمان 77 يمثل هذا النوع وهو إنجيل طقسي. يتميز هذا النوع أنه يضم الخدمة الليتورجية كاملة في عمودين، الأول مخصص للنص العربي والثاني للسرياني. تتيح هذه التوليفة نوعين من الاستخدام في خدمة تقام بإحدى هاتين اللغتين. نلاحظ في هذا الإنجيل في عندنا القسم نسميه قال المفسر، يلي هو تفسير آبائي للنص الإنجيلي دائما باللغة العربية. الإنجيل يقرأ بالسريانية، أما التفسير فيقرأ بالعربية. هالشيء يعني أنه المؤمنين كانوا معظمهم صاروا من الناطقين باللغة العربية. أيضا من مخطوطات هذه المجموعة بلاماند 198 وهو كتاب الكاهن، بنشوف أنه في عندنا تقابل بين النص السرياني والنص العربي. فئة أخرى هي مخطوطات بثلاث لغات، عربية يونانية سريانية. بلاماند 19 عندنا خدمة القداس الإلهي في عمودين، الأول بالسريانية والثاني باليونانية، أما العربية فترد في التعليمات والإرشادات وهي مشتركة بين السريانية وبين اليونانية. عندنا نوع فريد من هالمخطوطات هو مخطوطات ذات محتوى يوناني مكتوب بحرف سرياني، وهي ظاهرة شبيهة بالكرشونية، الكتابة الكرشونية، أن نكتب اللغة العربية بحرف سرياني. في هذا المخطوط نلاحظ مثلا إيفلوغيسون ديسبوتا مكتوب بالحرف السين السرياني إيفلوغيسون داسبوتا. هذا النوع من الكتابة نجد آثار له في المخطوطات الأنطاكية. من بعد ما عرضنا أنواع هذه المخطوطات حفوت شوي على بعض المحتوى الليتورجي أو المحتوى النصي لهذه المخطوطات، لذلك اخترت بعض النماذج. قدام معي أبونا 5 دقائق. النموذج الأول الطلبة السلامية. على سبيل المثال إذا أخذنا مخطوط البلاماند 198 نلاحظ خدمة القداس الإلهي باللغة العربية واللغة السريانية. الطلبة السلامية في هذا النص نلاحظ النص العربي يستخدم مصطلح لإيريني السلام، يستخدم مصطلحين باللغة العربية سلام وسلامة من أجل سلامة. اللغة اليونانية أو النص اليوناني سلام، هذا مأخوذ من السرياني، لأن السريانية تميز بين سلام وبين شينو التي تعني السلامة أو الوفرة فهذا النص واضح أن الترجمة هذه العربية هنا هي ليست من اليونانية، هي من السريانية، وهذه الترجمة استمرت حتى القرن 19 بتلاقي هالأثر موجود. بعطي مثل ثاني يؤكد هذه الفرضية تكرار هذه الحالة أيضا في مخطوط بلاماند 25-15. بعطي مثل آخر هو قانون الفصح. توجد نسخة سريانية لقانون الفصح في مخطوط بطريركية 3. هذا المقطع التروبيري الأودية الأولى اليوم يوم القيامة. نلاحظ أن النص السرياني يستبدل هلموا أيها الشعوب هلموا أيها المؤمنون، ونلاحظ أن هذه الترجمة استخدام مؤمنين بدل شعوب أيضا نجده في المخطوطات العربية، مثلا في مخطوطات شوية. فهذا يعني أن بعض مخطوطاتنا العربية الليتورجية أخذت شيء من السرياني الرومي الموجود في الكنائس والرعايا والأديار الأنطاكية. هذه المقارنة بين القوانين. مثل ثالث هو الإنجيل الطقسي يضم مخطوط بلاماند 10. بعض الأوراق السريانية تحتوي هذه الأوراق على قراءات من الإنجيل الطقسي ومقاطع من تفاسير آبائية. مثلا عندنا مرقس 9 الآية 33 نلاحظ أن النص السرياني هنا يضيف يسوع والتلاميذ إلى الآية 33. هذه الإضافة غير موجودة في كل النسخ اليونانية، إنما نجدها في النسخ العربية الأنطاكية، في اللاذقية، في حماطورة، في الياند، في حمص. وهذا يعني أن هذا النص السرياني هو الذي ترجم في كنائسنا. النصوص العربية اللي عندنا مأخوذة عن هذا النص السرياني. مثل ما بتلاحظوا. اوكي، حاختصر على السريع. حننتقل على نموذج رابع هو التيبيكون. مارتن حكي عن تيبيكون كرما. هنا اجريت مقارنه سريعه بين تيبيكون كرما والتيبيكون السرياني. عندنا نسخه من التيبيكون السرياني موجوده بدوما مريحنا مخطوط رقم 1. أخذت القديسين مذكورين بالتيبيكون لشهر تشرين الأول. نلاحظ السنكسار بيعطي 134 قديس بتشرين الأول، سنكسار كرمي. أما التيبيكون كرمي فيعطي 37 قديس فقط من هؤلاء 134. تظهر مقارنة تيبيكون كرما لشهر تشرين الأول بالتيبيكون السرياني المحفوظ في مخطوط دوما 1 أنهما يتفقان في 26 حالة من أصل 37 ويختلفان في 11 حالة. هلا منطقيا نعتقد أنه كرمي زاد، لأنه هو قال أنه بده يعمل يصلح الكتب الطقسية وفقا للطقوس اليونانية أو الكتب اليونانية. ولكن حقيقة الأمر أننا نلاحظ وجود توازن بين التوليفتين. ففي حين يحذف كرما 5 أعياد من التيبيكون، يحذف التيبيكون السرياني 6. لا بل كرما على سبيل المثال يحذف قديسين أو أعياد مثل قزمة ودميانوس، مثل لوقا الإنجيلي 18 تشرين. بالمقابل يذكر التيبيكون السرياني قزمة ودميانوس في موقعين، ولا يورد تذكار المجمع المسكوني السابع، لأن كل الاحتفال أو تذكارات المجامع هي أضيفت في مراحل لاحقة. يتضح من هذا المثل المذكور أعلاه أن التيبيكون المحفوظ في التقليد السرياني للروم الأرثوذكس جدير بأن يؤخذ بعين الاعتبار لما يمثل من تقليد أنطاكي سابق لمرحلة تنميط الكتب الليتورجية. هلا عندي القسم الأخير له علاقة بكرمي ما أحكي عنه يا أبونا ديفيدياسا. أوكي، يعني حأختم ببعض الاستنتاجات. ساهم تقليد الروم الأرثوذكس السرياني في تشكيل توليفة سريانية بيزنطية خاصة في مجال الطقوس والليتورجيا، ويعتبر التعدد اللغوي وما يمثل من تقاليد محلية في كنيسة أنطاكيا للروم الأرثوذكس من العناصر البنيوية للهوية الأنطاكية. ففي حين تشكلت هوية الكنائس الشرقية حول أحادية اللغة والإيمان والطقس، يعني بناخذ مثلا كنيسة السريان الأرثوذكس لغة إيمان ليتورجيا تشكل وحدة. هاي الحالة ما موجودة عندنا في الكنيسة الروم الأرثوذكس، في تعدد لغات، في تعدد طقوس، ولكن في إيمان واحد. يوجد إجماع اليوم على اعتبار الكتابة السريانية في طورها التي طورها الروم الأرثوذكس طبعا قائمة بذاته مرتبطة بهوية هذه الكنيسة وليس نسخة من كتابة سريانية. هلا في بعض الدراسات خاصة درمو أبونا جابي عنده نظرية أكيد تكون تعرفها العلاقة بالسريانية المارونية، فهو بيقول أنه السريانية المارونية بشكلها الحالي هي فرع من السريانية الرومية، لأنه الأقرب إلى الحرف الماروني اليوم أقرب له هو الحرف السرياني للروم أرثوذكس الموجود بالمخطوطات الأنطاكية. يتضح من بيانات المخطوطات السريانية الخلقدونية التي نسخت في أرجاء الشرق المسيحي أنها جميعها ترتبط بشكل مباشر أو غير مباشر ببطريركية الروم في أنطاكيا، سواء من ناحية النساخ أو أماكن النسخ أو المحتوى. حتى مثلا سينا، كل مخطوطات سينا السريانية القرن الثالث عشر هي مرتبطة بشكل أو بآخر بأنطاكيا، يعني النساخ أما أنطاكيين راحوا نسخوا أو في أشياء انبعثت لهون النسخت وراحت على سينا. أخيراً السريانية الليتورجية قد استمرت لوقت أطول في الأديار في حين تراجعت في وقت أبكر في الرعاية لصالح العربية. وشكراً.
دكتور إلي، بنشكرك على محاضرتك وعلى كل الشغل المهم اللي عم بيصير بمركز يوهانس بجامعة البلمند. ونتائجه بدها تبين مش ب10 و15 سنة، بدها تبين على عقود كثيرة. إذا بحب حدا يطرح أي سؤال على دكتور إلي. أبونا جابي.
بتصور إلي حكيت الأمور اللي كتير مهمة. أنا برأيي مثل ما أنت عم تقول كمان.
أبونا جابي أستاذ دكتور وبروفيسور باللغة السريانية من الرهبنة المارونية اللبنانية.
نحن الروم والموارنة بيتميزوا أكثر شيء بالسرياني، عندهم سرياني خاص، إن كان من ناحية الحرف، شكل الحرف، إن كان من ناحية اللغة، عندهم لغة كمان خاصة مميزة وعندها لون مميز. مثل ما شفت أنا وياك اللي بكل هالمخطوطات في خط روم أرثوذكسي مميز مش موجود لا عند الموالي ولا عند السريان الأرثوذكس ولا عند الكلدين كمان. كمان حتى طريقة كتابة الإنجيل شو اسمه الترجمة للكرشوني كمان بنتلاقى بعدة أمور. في عندنا مخطوط من سنة 1516 بدار مرليشا في نص الإنجيل مترجم للكرشوني كمان، وقال المفسر. عندنا ذات المفسر اللي هو بتصور الصليبي أو المبسوستي،
هو الأساس المبسوستي، وبعدين هو نسب يعني في التقليد الرومي نسب إلى الذهبي الفم، بس هو مبسوستي.
ما بدي أحكي كثير، يمكن بعدين نحكي في الأمور أنا وياك كثير غيري عندهم أسئلة، بس أنا بنيك على الشغل اللي عم تعمله.
خليك أبونا.
الله يوفقك، وإن شاء الله مثل ما قال أبونا جاك بتوصل تطور شغلك بالطباعة وبنشر هالأمور كلها.
شكرا.
Father Chrysostomos Athanasios and His Eminence Bishop Romanos also. Okay, Father Athanasios.
Professor Denawi, thank you for your excellent paper and your excellent work, and I thank the translators for helping us try to wrap our mind around some of the details of your presentation. I would like to ask, now we are speaking about, if I understood properly, not necessarily different Typika, but different redactions of a common, let's say, Typikon, and at the same time, different languages being used in these communities, the Syrian Rum Orthodox communities. And what comes to mind is this question that is coming up a little bit more in scholarship with respect to the actual performance practices and the notion of liminality. How much of this information that you gave us today will help shed light on some of these scholarly questions today in the historical perspective? In other words, do the manuscripts give us information about the flexibility and the criteria for using multiple languages in one specific community, maybe, or the flexibility based on the congregation of a specific actual synaxis? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Father. Actually, one of the, I think, interesting approaches to studying those multilingual manuscripts is to deal with them as ecosystems. So they are not static. Manuscripts are living environments, and inside those manuscripts, you have the text itself, which is, it represents a community and it has a function. For example, in the case of the lectionary, although it's a text, sometimes we have the continuous, the canonical text, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, but the compilation of the function of this compilation, canonical compilation, is liturgical. And this is one. Two, you have the marginal notes and elements inside the manuscript. For example, all the rubrics, the headings, the kefali, all of these elements, actually, they reflect the use and the community behind this text. Yes, I do agree with you that there is like a gap between our perspective or our approach to manuscripts as scholars and researchers. So practically we deal with them sometimes as static objects and we want to make the discovery and the scoop. But actually they are like worship objects and they don't belong to the academic sphere of the community. They belong to the daily liturgical and ritual life of this community. So the smart scholar, I think, is the one who can go beyond the text and the boundaries of the layout and of the codicological and paleographic, and to reach the community who conceived, who copied, who ordered, who financed, and who used the text.
It seems one last question from Miguel Sassin.
سؤالي شقين. أول سؤال إنه كتب الرسائل والأناجيل هل كلها تعتمد الترتيب الواصل حاليا المعتمد حاليا أو في أشياء تعتمد تقليد مختلف؟ ثاني سؤال، في أبونا توما ذاكر بأحد مقالاته عن اللغة السريانية إنه كان في تراث انطاكي قديم أناجيل الإيوسينا كانوا 8 ما 11 عدد الألحان. هل هالشيء وجدتوا شيء بأي بعض المخطوطات اللي طالعتها أو لا؟
شكرا. بالنسبة للسؤال الثاني، الليتورجيا دائما بتعدى على موضوع منو اختصاصي، بس من بعض المشاهدات والملاحظات بالمخطوطات انه الليتورجيا هي جسم حي. قبل الطباعه كان في عندنا تنوع وتعدديه كبيره بالخدم الليتورجيه، ان كان من حيث البنيه تيبيكون او من حيث المحتوى النص. وكانت الكنائس يعني اليوم مثلا بيطلع كتاب ينطبع مثلا وبيتوزع على الكنائس، بصير هو الكتاب يلي معتمد. قبل عمليا ما كانت تكون امور هيك، هي قضايا نسخ. فاحيانا يكون راهب مثلا بسينا يجيب معه كتاب ينسخه والكتاب ينتشر بمحيطه. فكانوا 8 أو 9، ممكن يكونوا 7 و6 و5 و4، يعني ممكن تلاقي كثير تعدد. هلا بالنسبه ولكن في مرحله من المراحل صار في نوع من الستاندردايزيشن، ثبت النص. هذا اجى بمرحلتين. المرحله الاولى مع كرمي القرن السابع عشر يلي صار في عندنا حركه الترجمه المنظمه، والمرحله الثانيه الطباعه، عندما طبع النص اصبح جامد خلص ما فيك تغير بسهوله. بالنسبه لسؤالك الاول، في اختلافات بتقسيم الانجيل الطقسي. الاختلافات هي نتيجه تطور هذا النوع جان ليترير، لانه الانجيل الطقسي الاقدم هو انجيل سياق عادي، يعني متى مرقس لوقا يوحنا، وبقلب التوليفه القانونيه بيحطوا القراءات. فكانت القراءات هي هامشيه او عناوين بقلب النص. فالنص البيزنطي تطور بالقرن العاشر 11. نحن نصنا بانطاكيا على مستوى المخطوطات، اقدم مخطوطات انطاكيه فيها انجيل طقسي عندنا هي تعود الى الاقدم وحده 1253. 1253. النص في هالإنجيل الطقسي هو متى مرقس لوقا يوحنا، منه إنجيل طقسي بالتوليف الليتورجي. التوليف الليتورجي الأقدم عندنا هي قرن 16. قرن 16 كان أخذ شكله البيزنطي، خليني أقول، يلي هو بنعرفه اليوم. بعض الاختلافات في عندك شيء بالفيرسيفيكيشن بعدد الآيات، بس هذه من النوع من الاختلافات بسيطة. أما من حيث البنية الجوهرية استقر النص عندنا بالقرن السادس عشر.
أصحاب السيادة، بنشكركم على بركة حضوركم معنا اليوم، والآباء الأجلاء، ولا تؤاخذونا طولنا شوي حتى ننقل مؤتمرنا لكل العالم. صلواتكم وبركتكم.